I wanted to change people's life. That Stuti, this book changed my life.
Nice.
It just feels so good.
From being a self-published author to an author who sold more than 1 lakh of copies.
And the biggest lesson in my life is that it is very important to be resilient. People will believe only when there's validation. So a big publisher will sign you up possibly because you've sold so many books. I always tell people that love yourself. That's the most important thing. One of those जो कहते हैं चलो पानी में कूद के देखते हैं कैसा लगेगा, चलो पहाड़ पे ऊपर चढ़ के देखते हैं कैसा लगेगा. I was never like very convinced कि मुझे ये ही करना है और नहीं तो मैं मर जाऊं. अब बोलते ना जोर का झटका और वो जोर से ही लगा. Was when I started writing to publishers after completing my novel and then realizing that I told my family that I am not feeling great and I just don't know where my life is going right now. And suddenly they had that validation कि हमने तो बोला ही था but ठीक है चलो. That is how my first book On the Open Road was published. शायद मेरी बुक पे 100 रिव्यूज हो जाएंगे तो शायद 2 लोग देखना चाहें कि ये क्या है. I have a very I come from a middle class Indian family, so I have this mentality where you feel like कि अगर ये नहीं चल रहा है तो अभी अगला क्यों करना, पहले इसे तो चला. Something like that. Okay. I learned how to run Amazon ads. I learned how to be listed as a seller on Amazon. Self-taught. Everything alone, one man army. February 2020 I launched this. March India announces lockdown. Lockdown से एक बहुत बड़ा जो मेजर ट्रेंड पब्लिशिंग के लिए आया या इस इंडस्ट्री में आया जो आज तक आई डोंट नो इफ किसी ने नोटिस किया है, वो ये दैट पीपल बिकेम रीडर्स. फॉर मी इट वाज अ जर्नी जहाँ मेरा घर वेयरहाउस था एंड आई यूज्ड टू डिस्पैच बुक्स फ्रॉम माय होम to getting to a bigger warehouse. तो मेरे लिए वो भी एक win था. Sold 13,500 around books in that year by the time the year ended. And then many major publishers and my agent reached out to me that how are you doing this? Which company is Spotlight Books? I said it's my company.
Welcome back to another episode of The Next Show by Nagma. And today with me, I have an author who's doing wonders in the literary world. She's somebody people has been telling that her books feels like words right out of a postcard. That's one way of calling her. And there's a lot of people who call her as the author of You Only Live Once. She's also released her latest book right now. And today I'm in conversation with Stuti Changle.
Hi,
Stuti,
Nagma.
welcome.
Hi. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to be on The Nest Show.
Thank you. How are you? You just got back home from a very long book tour. Almost a month you've been traveling. How has this experience been with the book?
I just feel so grateful for all the love that came my way. So many readers who've loved some of my previous books. They showed up with their previous books and they were so excited for the new one. So it just felt like, I don't know, coming home to myself because I've always loved this. I wanted to be a writer, not just because I wanted to write books, but there was something bigger to it, always. I wanted to change people's lives. For me, that impact and to see it firsthand. So it's a very different thing when someone messages you on Instagram and they DM and they say, okay, this book is great and it changed my life and I feel good about it. But then somebody really showing up and that personal touch and then telling you that, Stuti, this book changed my life. It just feels so good. And I think that validation, while I believe a lot more in internal validation than the external one. But then it's like icing on the cake. It's not bad to have it. So when so many people come and say that your work is creating that impact, it just feels really good. And I just know that I'm on the right path. This is where I have to keep going. I have to write many more books and touch many more lives. So it just feels so good. And at the same time, I feel grateful for the universe that these stars are aligning for me and it's happening the way I would have dreamt at one point. Younger Stuti, 10 years back, would have dreamt. I mean, as a self-published author, it was not even a dream that I used to see for myself. It was too big of a dream to see. But then I kept dreaming and now I'm here. So it just feels surreal.
That's a huge journey from being a self-published author to an author who sold more than 1 lakh of copies. That's a big journey. And I was so touched when I saw, I mean, obviously I was stalking your Instagram and I saw the tour you had this time. There was, I think, one reel that you made where you're asking people to describe Stuti's book in one word.
Yeah.
Not a single reader could describe it in a word. I think that's great validation in itself, because people want to talk more. They cannot just put it into a single word.
Yes.
That was beautiful. So congratulations to you on that amazing journey that you've had. That's a huge part of your life.
Thank you so much. That
What was
really
the
means a
most
lot.
life-changing experience for you in this entire journey?
I think the most life-changing or the biggest life lesson that I've had on this journey, and it's been a rough journey, I'd say. I mean, what we see right now is maybe just this one peak point, but then it has been full of troughs and challenges. But this one thing that I have learned, and the biggest lesson in my life, is that it is very important to be resilient. So when the waves going good in the good direction and everything's working well, then you have validation. People want to talk to you, know about your journey, so and so. But to get here, you have to battle so many sleepless nights, so many what ifs, that I started this, but is it worth it? What else can I do? Am I not good enough or not putting enough efforts? Why are the books not selling? So I have been through all those very difficult moments that have led me here. So I feel very grateful when I'm here, because I know that I always say that life is like a highway. Okay. And these successes that you get somewhere here and there are like the milestones, which are coming every 15 kilometers or 30 kilometers. But the road that's constant is the journey.
Every kilometer counts.
And you have to believe in your journey. People will believe only when there's validation. So a big publisher will sign you up, possibly because you've sold so many books. But to get here, it was only you. And let's say tomorrow if one of the book flops or bombs or doesn't work, who knows? I've written 5 books and every book has a very different response. I've been lucky so far that every book has done much beyond average or better than average. But I am okay if one day one creative project fails. So in those times, it's only your belief in yourself and that resilience that will carry you forward.
Very true. That's very true, Johnny. I understand the part that for an author also, irrespective of how successful an author you are, and success is different for everybody. It could completely mean different thing to every single person. And that journey is not about, like you said, about that one day. There could be days when things don't work out. You're not able to write. You got a negative feedback. There's something going wrong with your publisher. All of this thing together will fall into one single day and you're like, why am I doing this? How do you tackle such a day? I'm sure it's happening, but then how do you tackle it?
Self-love or self-belief. And I am a huge, I would say, propagandist or what of self-love. I always tell people that love yourself. That's the most important thing, because a lot of validation then starts coming from within. You don't really care a lot about, let's say, what Nagma has to say about my book, or let's say what some reader has to say. And while criticism is important, it helps you grow. At the same time, don't take a criticism about your own life. The choices that you're making in your life for yourself. Be confident and take those bold choices for yourself, because they will lead you somewhere different. Otherwise, you're just one of the many, and then the life might not be that adventurous or different. And I don't even say there's something wrong about that life. It's a choice. But if you want an adventurous life and if you want to go beyond the ordinary, you will have to believe in yourself, which I keep saying again and again. Like abhi bhi hum jab se baat kare, just one thing that I'm saying. And I love myself the most.
Great.
That thing helps me. Like that self-love, that showing up for myself, which I do every single day, no matter if somebody is showing up for me or not, is something that has gotten me here. So I always say love yourself.
You have.
Love yourself.
Amazing. So how was your journey? Because you worked a corporate life for a good long while. You decided to let go of all of it. Trust yourself. Be there for yourself and continue pursuing your passion. How would that transition work for you?
Oh, it was a very rough transition. And I would still say that I was very young and very motivated and very passionate to take that decision. It was almost 8-9 years back. Okay, and I was like 23 at that time.
Yeah.
If you will tell me to take the exact same decision today, I might not. I might take a very calculated risk, and now that I've seen the other side, it could be different.
Yeah.
But I was a very full of life, you know, very enthusiastic kind of a person who used to take random decisions.
Yeah.
You know, one of those जो कहते हैं चलो पानी में कूद के देखते हैं कैसा लगेगा, चलो पहाड़ पे ऊपर चढ़ के देखते हैं कैसा लगेगा. I was full of life in that way that I did not care.
Yeah.
But after taking that decision, there were few things that taught me certain things about life. So I was not financially very prepared to handle this change. And once you're used to salary, which I always say is an addiction,
It's
you
an
know
addiction.
that every week it's or every month it's coming in.
Yeah.
And then suddenly not having it for days, and if you're not planning your finances properly, can really make you sink down a deep hole.
True.
And can make you depressed.
Yeah.
So I think I'm happy that I took that risk early in my 20s because I didn't have many responsibilities at that time. I was just responsible for myself.
True.
So even little freelancing assignments here and there that I could do, I started doing it. I knew that this salary, I will run out of it. And I'm not sitting on a pool or a ton of money ki theek hai, main kaam nahi bhi karungi to life chalegi. I in the end have to feed my own self, if not anyone else. So I'll say that I took the decision in a very right time in my life where you don't have many responsibilities and you can actually experiment, fail and learn.
Nice.
I experimented.
Yeah.
I kind of say that I failed as well because honestly, after leaving that high-paying job, I was working very hard to make ends meet through freelancing assignments and all of that. And at the same time, I was writing my first book, जिसके लिए मेरे पास कोई plan नहीं था. I didn't leave it with a plan.
Okay.
So I didn't know who's going to pick it up, whether it will be published or not, if ever it will be published or not. But that experimentation, that failing early on in my life taught me a lot of lessons. And if you say, ki, Stuti, if you go back, would you want to do it differently? No. I'll do it in the exact same way. Because after that, my growth was never steady. When you're in a corporate life or in a certain setup, you grow. But then, just like your salary, maybe 10% year on year, 20% year on year, 20 is a very high number. But when you do something of this sort, na, आपकी जर्नी एकदम से एक्सपोनेंशियल हो जाती है या ग्रोथ एकदम से एक्सपोनेंशियल हो जाती है बिकॉज वंस यू आर आउट which my first book is also on the open road. Once you're on the open road, the experiences that you have and the failures, वो जो आपको सिखाते हैं ना, वहाँ से then this line is not linear. It's just like a log. It's exponential. So I wouldn't have done it differently either.
Amazing. And that's a confidence. That's a confidence we always need. Not that we are propagating that everybody should leave their job and doing it. Obviously.
Plan it. I mean, not everybody is up for it, prepared for it. Always have your plan B. And मेरे साथ ये था ना, that plan B was in my head. I was never, foolhardy, or I was never like very convinced कि मुझे ये ही करना है और नहीं तो मैं मर जाऊँ. I knew that if this doesn't work out, I am okay to go back to my career, my normal life, my corporate life, and I will live that life. There was nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong in living that comfortable life. So I was always okay to go back if it doesn't work out. But I told myself that, Stuti, this time if you don't try, you might never try. And then these dreams that you have, they'll always be the dreams. They can never become a reality for you. So just make a move, which I always say to people. I mean, initially I used to also sign my book saying make a move. Because for me, it's like, make that move in life. If it's that place that's not making sense to you, if it's that relationship you've outgrown, move out of it. Don't stay stuck in a certain place just because the society tells you to or because people tells you to. So,
interesting. That's a good line also to tell people, make a move. But that's great. I mean, it's so evidently visible in you, the way that the way that you've grown, the way that you're talking about yourself. I think that was the best choice that you could have ever made for yourself. And I'm glad you did that. And I'm glad all the readers of yours today is really able to hear it from you directly about all these things. So how has the publishing journey been for you? From your first book all the way till your fifth book right now. I think in between one was an Audible original. It did not come out in paperback. So how has this journey been, being in the publishing industry? How was that first push where you were sending out the manuscripts, getting rejections, of course, then getting a good acceptance, going around with it?
यार मतलब दैट जर्नी तो अगर मैं बोलूँ तो was the hardest journey of my
Of
life.
course, yeah.
Because things were pretty decent and nice until I was not sending out my manuscript to publishers. So I was still in that place where in my head I was always like, you know, the heroine of my story, and I knew that this is going to work out.
Yeah.
I think the first time I got a झटका, बोलते ना जोर का झटका, और वो जोर से ही लगा, was when I started writing to publishers after completing my novel and then realizing that I don't even get a no in response. So I think one publisher would have sent me a no, not naming them, but they are established.
Others would have ghosted you.
But बाकी तो मुझे पता ही नहीं है कि what happened, where did it go. Sometimes you just imagine that it went in the wrong mailbox, maybe it went in the spam box because you never heard back. So yeah, it was very challenging not hearing back. But you know, again, I make a move, Nagma. I'm not someone who stays. So I have seen authors wait for years and years for their manuscripts to be published, for their first book to be published, and they have that patience. I'm very impatient.
Good.
So after 3 months, when I realized, I said time is also money. Even if I have to go back to my job or do something else in my life,
you need to make the decision.
I need to make that decision. I can't be waiting forever for that first book to get published and for my, you know, dream जो मैंने खुद अपने लिए ही देख लिया था कि I'll be a very commercially successful author. So after 3 months, I told my family that, you know, I'm not feeling great and I just don't know where my life is going right now. And suddenly they had that validation कि हमने तो बोला ही था, but ठीक है चलो. Ouch. But luckily they were very supportive. They said you give your best shot. And then my mom and my brother, they saw this advertisement that Amazon is doing their pen to publish competition, and it was happening for the first time in India in 2018, in which the winners are going to get this, that, and a publishing deal with Amazon and all of that. So I said, yeah, why not? Let's go for it. That is how my first book, On the Open Road, was published. I had to give up on my dream of seeing it as a paperback, and I was very, very skeptical about it going out as a digital book. But I convinced myself. I said something is better than nothing. Of course. At least it will go out to people. Some people are going to read it, maybe review it. It will give me feedback as a writer to grow, because if I want to write more books, then I need to have that feedback.
You need the feedback.
Well. That is how my first book in 2017 in November released actually as an ebook. Wow. And now looking at it, I just feel, ooh, it's been a long journey.
And so when did it turn into a paperback?
So it turned into a paperback many months later after it being, so it did good. It was loosely in the top 10, but I didn't win that competition. I lost that competition. I didn't get the publishing deal also, and neither did I make any money there. But it gave me some initial readers and feedback, and then I self-published that book. I said, okay, if nobody is willing to put in that or take that I would
leap
of faith, let me do it for myself. And I self-published that book, invested my own money, marketed it, and I think we would have printed just about 1100 copies in the beginning. And I said, now my goal is to only sell these 1100 copies. That's the only goal I have. जब ये निकल जाएगी फिर आगे का plan बनाएंगे. Because I, as a person, always believe, even as an artist, what one needs to understand is that whatever you do needs to have some profitability or return for people involved in that. If it's not happening, then it's not worth it. Because everybody needs their, you know, survival. There has to be a rent that has to go out every month. There are certain bills that you can't, even in the lowest or the minimum of lifestyle that you live, that I used to live in that time as a bachelor, you still have some obligations. Even if one person you have to take care of, there is some financial obligation. So you need to make sure that this passion of yours is going to make you some money in the future. If it's not making anything, then I would have kept it as a hobby, went back to my professional career as a you know, as a sales person or in the marketing, however, and then it would have been my side thing. So I was very clear about that plan. So I published those books. And while selling those books, after selling 300, 400 books, which took so much effort and so much begging to my relatives for reviews and friends for reviews, because in the beginning, why does someone care? Like so many books already existing as backlist, so many new titles coming in every year. Why does someone care to read your book? So I used to literally plead and you know, like literally beg to people कि इसे पढ़ो please,
Yeah.
देखो मुझे
Yeah.
चाहिए ये, this is very
Yeah.
important for my survival, for something that I want to do for my
Yeah.
future. I requested people for reviews. You won't believe the amount of calls and the amount of requests I've made people to just say कि एक review डाल दो यार, because शायद मेरी book पे 100 reviews हो जाएंगे तो शायद 2 लोग देखना चाहें कि ये क्या है,
Very
right?
true.
And at that time this whole bookstagram industry and these all things were not very nascent.
It was way
stage.
before that, yeah.
It's way before that, so you really have to beg to your relatives and friends for a review.
Yeah.
That is what I've done. Now
But
I
I'm so
proudly say
glad
that
you did it. A lot of authors don't do that.
you
because
have
this
to.
same stage which you're talking about right now, there's a beginning journey for every author. Everybody who's popular today, who's in the top 10 anywhere worldwide,
Yes.
India, they also had a journey where
Yes.
they just started. Nobody
Yes.
became a bestseller
Overnight.
overnight. It cannot happen. But I'm so glad you did it.
Yeah.
Did you have any, like, once maybe after your first book or second book, did you have any major setbacks in your writing career?
Yeah, major setback was not being able to write book 2. Because you are so busy now promoting, now that you
Yeah.
understood that you will have to promote,
Yeah.
you will have to talk for your
Yeah.
books, talk for everything.
Yeah.
So now the thing is that you also have to write the other book.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
sometimes I have a very, like, I come from a middle class Indian family, so I have this mentality where you feel like कि अगर ये नहीं चल रहा है तो अभी अगला क्यों करना है? पहले इसे तो चला.
True.
Something like that, okay?
True.
And at that time there was a person I used to look up to,
Yeah.
like a mentor, and he told me that Suti, you're a writer.
Yeah.
You write. Don't forget
Yeah.
writing in this whole
Yeah.
process. You
Yeah.
take those 3 to 4 hours for yourself
Yeah.
out. Okay, maybe in the mornings or
Mm.
late night when you're done with promoting,
Yeah.
going to places, talking
Yeah.
about your book. But write your second book.
Yeah.
And that is how my second book, You Only Live Once,
Yeah.
which later on became a sensation.
A
It's still
sensation.
was written.
Yeah.
In the darkest phase of my life, where I
Wow.
did not know where my life is going next. And I had told myself that if this book doesn't work,
Okay.
I am going back to my normal life. Like, I am not pursuing this passion.
Yeah.
Or maybe I will diversify. Maybe if it is vocal storytelling that is more in, or I will experiment.
Yeah.
I will go
Yeah.
somewhere else. But I will move away from print. This is what I told myself. But I still wrote my second book. And with
Yeah.
still my first book, you won't believe whether it was a DUCA fest, whether it was a school, anywhere I got an opportunity, I would just go and talk about my
Yeah.
book. Because
True.
one thing that I've learned the hard way is that if you don't talk about book, nobody cares to talk
Yeah.
about your book. So
You are the first seller of your book.
You are
of
the
course.
first seller of your book. If you believe in your idea so much,
Yeah.
then be or bring that confidence to the table and
Yeah.
talk to people about it. I always believed in myself.
Yeah.
So वो self confidence था कि ठीक है, I used to go to places, talk about it. So while marketing and selling my first book, अभी आपको दिख रहा है कि I'm extensively touring because my following has grown to a level where that impact is visible to people. At that time, hardly 500 people followed me on Instagram. I have toured a lot more with my first book, but it's not visible because देख नहीं रहा है कोई उस time पे. Nobody cares.
True.
I had hardly like 6,000 people on my Facebook page. That too, at that time, I had to literally run ads and get to that number because people don't tell you the truth. But everything, everywhere you're out there, it takes so much of time, effort, money, investment, everything.
True. Very
So,
true.
Nobody was seeing that, but I have traveled a lot more with On the Open Road, which was my first book.
Interesting.
While writing my second book, You Only Live Once, and
Wow.
then I self-published my book, You Only Live Once. And
Oh, that was self-published first.
yeah, this is a self-published book. February, I launched this book. Very excited. This time I printed 2,100 copies,
Okay.
which is more than 1,100 with the
Yeah.
first one. And I was myself the printer, the
Yeah.
seller on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
I learned how to run Amazon ads.
Yeah.
I learned how to be listed as a seller on Amazon.
Wow.
Self-taught, everything, alone, one-man army. And I published 2,100 books in which I had myself invested, you know, from the savings that I had from my
of
freelance
course.
and whatever, you know, naukri, thoda bahut, you know, asking my father, then, you know, help me this time, I'm gonna get back to you, I'll get it. But I just knew that this dream means so much to me that I need to start this. And I saw it as a boutique business. I saw it as
Nice.
something that I am investing it, but then I might reap in the benefits.
Yeah.
And the most major setback in this journey for me was that February 2020 I launched this.
Okay.
March, India announces lockdown. And then there's COVID. And then non-essentials stop selling on e-commerce.
Yeah.
And as a new be author, e-commerce is the only place where you can get. You can't really get to the established distributors and retailers.
Yeah.
Mera strategy failed. So in this whole journey, the amount of times my strategy has failed and I have to rethink and redo it is interesting. But why I could do it or why am I still here? The first point I made on this show, resilience. I just showed up for my dreams. Whenever nothing was working out, this is something is going to work out. क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कोई एक रास्ता हमेशा exist करता है, आपको ढूंढना होता है बस वो रास्ता. And then I'm crying and then everyone's consoling me that don't cry. See, one day it's gonna sell back. वो ऐसा थोड़ी है कि अब लॉकडाउन हो गया तो कभी बिकेगा ही नहीं. At one point you just think about how difficult it is for humanity in general right now. And I said, I've invested so much of my time.
I don't care about humanity. What about my book?
I don't care. But then I finally thought about it in the larger scope that, you know, so much is going around in this world. This is hardly a thing. And I rewired my brain to be patient, to relax, to wait for the right time when it comes. And then we were all in the lockdown. When the lockdown was lifted and non-essentials started selling, interestingly, lockdown से एक बहुत बड़ा जो major trend publishing के लिए आया या इस industry में आया जो आज तक I don't know if किसी ने notice किया है वो ये that people became readers.
A lot of
people started reading. They had so much time. There no more activities, no social gatherings, no events. So, right time at the right place. I'm selling my book at that time. I've learned everything. I am the seller. अपने घर से I'm dispatching copies. And from I think mid, it had started selling the non-essentials. And by August, my second book, You Only Live Once, was in top 100 books.
Wow!
And I'm just doing it from my home. So from being like a seller who's, you know, signing copies from her home and selling. I don't know, the numbers were not very great in the beginning. I used to sell hardly 2 to 3 copies a day. To going to a phase where Amazon itself is offering me that now you can avail our Prime facility because your everyday orders have gone beyond a certain range. And then me packing big boxes and sending it to Amazon's warehouses because now it will be dispatched from there. So for me, it was a journey जहाँ मेरा घर warehouse था and I used to dispatch books from my home. To getting to a bigger warehouse, तो मेरे लिए वो भी एक win था. उस time पे I was very happy that wow, it's a Prime title now.
It's a huge achievement.
Interesting. And then I have sold 13,500 around books in that year. By the time the year ended, and then many major publishers and my agent reached out to me that how are you doing this? Which company is Spotlight Books? I said it's my company because books are a GST exempt category. So there's not much documentation that's needed. You just need your PAN card and you can sell books from your home. And I wasn't aware of that, but I figured it out in that journey. And now I'm giving that knowledge for so many other people who can benefit from it. And then my life changed. Like 2020 के बाद 2021 में the 3-book deal with Penguin Random House happened, where you have your older book acquired on the open road as a backlist. Then You Only Live Once. I had a new title signed with them. Where the Sun Never Sets then came 2 years later. These books were repackaged and published first. And then I got a Audible's Singapore se deal with my Lost and Found series, which I did. And then Harper happened. I have a 2-book deal with them now. So 1 book has come in. 1 is gonna come soon. So
that's a long journey. But guys, this is inspiration sitting right here. All the aspiring authors, anybody who's wanting to get into this industry, I think it's literal inspiration in physical form sitting right here. But that's a great journey. Hats off to your resilience. The way you were talking about just showing up, just doing it. I think 99% of the people would have given up. They would not have had the heart to keep doing, because we know a lot of authors like that. They would think, okay, my book is not going 100 tak pahunch gaye. After that, I don't want to because nobody is taking it up. If they stop showing up, people are not going to take up. That's where I think manifestation also in some way work magic. But that's congratulations. That's an amazing journey. It has been
crazy. And after that, all the numbers that I always dreamt of became reality.
Exactly. 1 lakh copies from starting with your 2100 sitting at your home. But I think even that 2100, handwriting individual messages to each reader, sending it out, packaging it, and then giving it out to these readers, that would have also been a good fun experience.
It was a fun experience. Sometimes now that I think about that phase of my life, I have tears of happiness in my eyes that I did that at that time. And uski baad kabhi mauka hi nahi mila, because once you're with a publisher, then obviously things operate in a certain way.
It's standardized.
So, it's standardized. And there was so much love, heart, effort, energy that I had put out, and it came back to me. So I mean, it's just crazy now, just reflecting on how things changed for me and how life changed.
Yeah.
But there were so many more moments where I just questioned myself that if I'm on the right path and doing the right thing.
You are.
So yes, it takes a lot of resilience, a lot of time and effort, because see, this is not a movie business.
It's not.
It's not like कि मैंने एक बहुत अच्छी मूवी बना दी और फर्स्ट डे में उसका फेट डिटरमाइन हो जाएगा कि फ्राइडे में अगर हाउसफुल हुआ या नहीं हुआ. No. You see so many, in fact with movies also, so many movies that didn't do well on the box office. Later on when they come to OTTs and in DVDs and CD formats, like Fight Club is one such example. Such an exemplary movie. Like, I just love that movie so much. But people tell me that when that Brad Pitt movie released in the beginning, I think it was not a standard, I would say, hit. It was maybe an average or below average or a flop sort of.
It came out later.
But when it came out on DVDs and CDs, there was whole cult around it. People were crazy about Fight Club. Men starting their own Fight Club. And because the story was so brilliant and so was the movie. And now people still watch it. But with books, it's very different. It takes time. You can't determine the fate of a book in just one book. I always say that marketing can take you to 5,000 books, 3,000 books. After that, the fate of any book is determined by the audience, by the readers. Until and unless someone tells someone that I love this book or this book can change your life, the book cannot become a bestseller.
It is very true. Yeah, there is a limit to which marketing can initially give a push. Yes, it can give you an initial visibility to you as an author, to build a brand, to show your book to people out there. But beyond that, I don't think, unless and until somebody, like even as a bookseller, if your book is not being picked by the readers, they'll not reorder. Even as a book club, if the feedback is not good, they will never pick up the next book of yours. I mean, it's going to be word of mouth. But hats off again. I'm still in, what do you call it? I'm still in that mesmerized stage where hearing out that entire story. But that's amazingly brilliant. In this entire journey, now where you started like at your home, now being a bestseller, selling that many copies, still touring with a lot of people, how has your connection with your readers been?
Wow, that has been the best part of this journey, Nagma. Because you know, there are different sorts of businesses and there are different sorts of products which are there in the market. And of course, they come with their own, I would say, advantages to whoever buys that. Books is a completely different category. Books is where if somebody, you're able to connect with them heart to heart. It's a very emotional connection you end up building. And for me, as a person, I anyways, look at love as something very universal. So for me, I can find love in anything, anywhere. I can be in love with this plant if I really want to. That is how I am. So for me, this whole practice of, practicing love has become very, I don't know how to put it into words, but it is very much doable or very easy for me because now I am in love with so many people and so many people are in love with me.
Interesting.
And that in itself makes this journey so beautiful because it's beyond numbers, it's beyond money now. It's about a larger purpose. It's about community. It's about something bigger that I'm chasing in my life. So I have stopped chasing certain numbers now because I have come to a point where I've realized that no two books are the same. And even sometimes the audience is different. And plus in today's day and age, gaya wo zamana 50 saal pehle when people, if they became fan of one author, were buying all the books from that author. That stickiness somewhere with the newer audiences is not just there. So they might just hang on that journey with you for like one book. But even that is important because there's a connection, there's a give and take, there's love between you and me. And it just fills me with so much love and gratitude. And what else does one want? Like life mein aapka ultimate purpose kya hai? It's joy, it's bliss. How long can you chase certain numbers or goals? Like I told you, even with the biggest of bestsellers and books that you've known, Maybe the author was always known for that one book. They would have put similar amount of heart and energy into every book.
other book.
But there is something, 5,000 book tak aap बेच सकते हो, उसके बाद there is something that's beyond your control.
Yeah.
So I've also matured and come to a point in life where
Yeah.
I do realize that hard work is important.
Yeah.
Reaching a certain number through marketing,
Yeah.
that is important.
Yeah.
But after that, I also have an acceptance of the audience and the world
Mm.
that after that zone,
Yeah.
it's completely a universe's play. So no matter how many readers, wherever I meet them, they are on this journey with me. It just feels like home, and I call them SC family for that reason. Because it's a very familial bond sort of a thing that we've created, and I've
Yeah.
always been a very community oriented
Yeah.
person. So for me, money was never the end goal. See,
Yeah.
if money is the end goal, you will never become an author.
I don't think, that's not going to, because
You really have
it's not a career which
Yeah.
will bring back a lot of money.
a lot of money. There's a
Yeah.
certain saturation, there's a stage where you can reach, and
Yeah.
beyond that, you will also have to experiment, think of what new things you can do.
Mm.
How can you diversify your, sources of income, revenue,
Yeah.
etc., etc. But keeping all that business talk aside, you won't become an author if you were just about money.
Yeah.
That purpose feels so much real, so much amazing to me. The joy that I want in my life, I can reach there, and this is all courtesy my readers. So that's the connection. It is
Beautiful.
huge.
Beautiful. How's your creative journey like? Because I was reading this book, Big Magic, recently, of the author of Eat, Pray, Love, which I was talking to you about.
Yes.
She's talking about how creativity is an entity in itself. It's roaming around, trying
Yeah.
to find a collaborator. It might come knocking my door, but if I did not open my door and let the creativity in, it will leave me.
Yes.
It'll go knock the next door.
Yes.
If you open the door, the creativity hits you. It could be
Yes.
an idea about a book. It could be a story that's somewhere lying around. I might have thought of it, but I did not open creativity at that point. You might or may not end up writing the similar idea.
It
So
could
how
be
is-
as simple as painting a pot.
Exactly. How does your creative inspirations come to you?
Very nicely put, and I would definitely read this book because it's a very brilliant way how she said that. Actually, it is so that the ideas, they happen to here and there, but if you
Yeah.
don't really sit with them,
Yeah.
if you don't really pursue them, they will eventually leave you, because I think creative people have a different wiring than people who don't pursue a lot of creative
Yeah.
things, because creativity opens you up as a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
You're willing to experiment, you're willing
Yeah.
to try something, you're willing to fail.
Yeah.
When I become more procedural or non-creative,
Mm.
then there's a certain way I'm trying to wire or cage my brain in a
Yeah.
certain routine, in a
Yeah.
certain way, and then there has to be a certain outcome. And it's a standard outcome. So it
Yeah.
can't ever go beyond
Yeah.
that certain standard
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah.
But in a creative field, there is no boundary.
Sky is your limit.
Sky is your limit. There's no boundary. So for me to be creative and be energized
Yeah.
while I'm a writer,
Yeah.
even if it's a very simple creative pursuit, as simple as painting the pots of my house plants, I sit and do that, because that allows me to keep my brain open to doing something new, painting something new, seeing
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah.
I play the instrument.
Yeah.
It's called ukulele. I am a dancer. I
Yeah.
love dancing whenever there's a stage.
Yeah.
And if there's no stage, I am someone who'll sing in the bathroom, dance in the bathroom,
Yeah.
but I let creativity be a part of my journey, my life, my soul, every day. It is
Yeah.
not something that I chase.
Yeah.
It is something that I practice.
You let in.
I let in when
Yeah.
it comes to me. So
Yeah.
I love, even if it's something as simple as arranging a shelf,
Yeah.
I see it as a very religious practice.
Mm.
I do it very religiously. It means something to me. And I
Yeah.
find meaning in everything. That is something
Nice.
about me. Even if
Yeah.
it is a simple house plant,
Yeah.
I try and find meaning to things.
Yeah. Interesting. Beautifully put, to be very honest. So, in your journey as a writer, there could be days when you're not really able to write.
Yeah.
How do you spend your time in that case?
This is my, the answer I just gave is my answer to this one. That for me, when I'm not able to write, I try and see that has my life gotten very boring? am I doing the same thing again and again, and so new ideas are not coming to me.
Okay.
So number one for me is to be close to nature.
Yeah.
If I can travel, I have that luxury of
Yeah.
time, money, whatever at the
Yeah.
point, I would love to travel.
Yeah.
It really helps me widen my perspective.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons why people love my books, or that I have been able to write so many locations in my
Yeah.
books, is because I've traveled extensively through
Yeah.
what money I've made.
Yeah.
Because I don't spend on things.
Hmm.
Because I know everything is being made in a particular country and is being white labeled, and
Yeah.
somebody is paying 50,000 and somebody is paying 500 for the very same thing. So I am intelligent there. I won't spend my money on materialism.
Yeah.
I would rather spend it on an experience.
Good experience.
So even if it is traveling to the hills, spending 10 days, and it's costing me the same thing, then let's say a dress and a bag, I would prefer this over this. This is how I in my life manage money.
Okay.
So I get a lot of experiences, and these
Yeah.
experiences become a part of my
Yeah.
stories. For me, breaking the creative block means getting out of my routine, out of my comfort zone. So travel really helps, number one. Number two, if I don't have the luxury of time and money
Yeah.
at that time,
Mm.
even sitting in my house garden,
Yeah.
lying on my yoga mat,
Yeah.
looking at the sky for half an hour
Yeah.
is an equally good experience for me.
Mm.
So I make sure that in my daily life, I'm not so consumed by the digital world or
Yeah.
just binge
Yeah.
watching movies
Yeah.
and all of that. I allow myself to spend more time in nature. And that is how I refresh, I rejuvenate. But I think that can differ from person to
Yeah.
person.
It could.
But for me, whenever I have gone out,
Yeah.
I have always come back with an idea. So it really helps me write.
Amazing. Nice. I think I'm hoping that the new book that you have also somewhere from the nature you got some good ideas. But yes, given that we are here to talk about the new book also, yes, let me dive deep into it. Beautiful book, two beautiful characters, Nirvana and Kiana. Amazing story plot. Nothing so cliche. I think that's something that I liked about the book a lot. It was not a cliche ending, or it was not a cliche setup that you had. There were scenarios where I was like, did the author just do that to my character? There were moments like that, but then an amazing journey. How's that journey going with the latest book of yours, Stars Will Guide You Home?
It is going good. I mean, in terms of the story,
Yeah.
or in terms of how people are liking these
People's
characters.
perception.
People's perception. People are loving them. The most interesting thing that has happened on this book tour is that somebody who read the book,
Yeah.
a reader of mine, she told me that, you know what, I hated Kiana. She said, you know, your characters generally, they are so full of life, this and that. But, you know, Kiana, she's very cribby. She has a problem. And then she's not owning up to her own decisions and problems.
Yeah.
So this and that. And she said, do you love her?
Uh-huh.
I said, see, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Kiana is based on a person that I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Might not be me.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, there was a point I judged this person, just
Mhm.
like you're judging Kiana
Yeah.
from a distance.
Yeah.
But as I grew up, I had the empathy to understand why they are how they are.
Mm.
There's a reason, there's a backstory to it, with a family, with the complications,
Yeah.
this and that.
Yeah.
And I said, not everybody that you see out there is that picture perfect character from a literary novel who
Yeah.
has a certain characteristics,
Yeah.
and then everybody, you know, if there's a male, there's a stereotype how he needs to be. If there's a female, there's a stereotype. I want to break that. I want to break those stereotypes.
Yeah.
My heroine can be imperfect, and that's what most of my characters look
That's how
like.
most of us are.
Because that's how most
Yeah.
of us are. And I, as a person, am not chasing perfection in life.
Yeah.
I believe in living in the imperfect. So
Interesting.
I can't manifest that belief or make other people understand
Yeah.
that belief if my characters are not true to that belief.
True.
So somewhere these characters are a part of that belief system I have. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't love or hate my characters. I understand that every human is different.
Yeah.
And when I get to see their journey from a distance, I just see that journey with empathy. So I said, like, you don't love her, even I hate her. But people with their own problems exist in the universe, and you
Yeah.
can't avoid that.
Yeah.
Or you can't just shut up everyone and create those boundaries and say, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk to everyone because she has a problem, he has a problem, she has a
Yeah.
problem, he has a problem. Somewhere, when you build a community,
Yeah.
whether it's a family, you realize that 5 fingers, you know, they are different.
Mm.
And there's acceptance that needs to
Yeah.
come in.
Very
So
much.
I am at a place where I don't judge my characters. I accept them for who they
Yeah.
are, and my
Yeah.
characters are imperfect just like you and me.
I really want to meet that reader because, like how she said, she did not like Kiana as a character. I loved Kiana as a character. I don't know. I think it's that rebellious nature or how she was there for herself.
Yeah.
I think I loved that thing about her. In fact, I had issues with Nirvana a lot of times. I mean, come on. I'm entitled.
You
to my
have
own,
everything on the platter, and you're entitled, so you can make
and
these
you're like,
things.
why don't you do more? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm entitled to my opinion as a reader, but
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. So now, in your life,
Thank you. Yeah.
where are you heading to? Writing is one part of
Interesting.
your life,
Yeah.
but there's a lot more into it. There's a huge depth in your own personality, your character. What are you manifesting for yourselves? Where do you want to reach?
Very interesting question. So, Nagma, I never plan life with a 10-year vision board or a
Yeah.
5-year vision board. Generally, for me, my goals are pretty much that can be done in the coming 3 months or 4 months. That is how long.
Yeah.
A quarterly plan I generally
Yeah.
have. So, of course, this book is something that I'm writing. But at the same time, I challenge myself every year. So, there was a point in my life where I want to grow out of most of the fears that I have.
Okay.
So I had the fear of driving because I was once in a car accident.
Oh.
So I got myself a car and made sure that I drive.
Okay.
And in the 1 year, I have taken many road trips with
Yeah.
that car. Like one has
Yeah.
been to, so from driving in the city and getting comfortable there to actually one-way driving entire route from Delhi to Haridwar, Delhi to Vrindavan.
Wow.
This is something I've done.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm planning for myself in the coming 3 to 4 months is to challenge myself with a longer road trip. So can I maybe do a Delhi to Goa or Delhi to Kerala? I don't know.
Oh wow, that's long.
So something interesting of that sort I want to do if I
Yeah.
can make time for myself in the
Yeah.
coming 3 to 4 months or maybe in the
Yeah.
coming year,
If you
if
can
not in the...
travel all the way in car to your home, I think that's good long distance in itself.
Yeah. So that is one thing that I really want to do because I think with
Interesting.
every experience that I take, it teaches me something. Whether it is being out there on the open road with some random stuff that's happening
Yeah.
or coming to me,
Yeah.
but everything that I do a plan for
Yeah.
myself. So for me goals ऐसे थोड़े crazy होते हैं. मैं कुछ ऐसी अजीब सी चीजें I want to अपनी bucket list से हटाना
Yeah.
चाहती हूँ, and then I want to see that was I able to do it, and then that gives me a kick. It keeps me full of life.
Yeah.
It keeps me writing more interesting stuff. So this is one of the things loosely that I want to do in the coming 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
And given that I'm a mother of a 3-year-old, there's a lot that I need to plan at the back
Of
end
course.
also. But luckily, I've been able to do it all for
Yeah.
myself. I have a very
Yeah.
supportive partner. Kudos
Yeah.
to him. And I do believe that, if you have a great partner,
Yeah.
आधे life के problems ऐसे ही solve हो जाते हैं. So my husband is like someone that I can just look up to for anything
Yeah.
and everything, and
Amazing.
he's always a sport with whatever I want
Yeah.
to do.
Great.
So yeah, I mean, I hope I'm able to do something of this sort in the coming 3 to 4 months.
Wishing you all the very best. I think given that you have somebody who's so supportive, maybe you go on the road, but there's somebody by the time because your kid do not want to miss you for so long, they'll reach in the flight. I think you can figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure something out, or if I have to take them along, what stops I want to make on the
Yeah.
way so that my daughter is also taken care
Yeah.
of, and my family is also sorted,
Yeah.
and then my personal goals and my I would say personal wish list is also sorted.
Oh my God, that's amazing. But thank you so much for this conversation. It was so fun having a conversation with you. Usually I ask the authors at the very end, what is the message you want to give to people? But you were throughout the conversation giving out messages. I'm skipping that question for you altogether. But honestly, as a reader, I love your books. So I'm really looking forward to reading all your older books as
Wow.
well as waiting for the upcoming one. I'm
Wow.
really keen on that. But
That means
thank
so
you
much.
so much for giving us such books. It's really great to read books, but at the same time, like how you are sitting here and talking, when we get to know the author, it connects more. As a reader, you're like more in love with the book. Just as a reader, you're like, okay, I love the book, great. But when you know the author as well, there's more connections, there's deeper meaning into every
Yeah.
damn thing that comes into
Yeah.
it. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for coming all the way here today, and wishing huge best, everything best for you and everything that's coming across to you from here on in your
Thank
writing
you. Thank
journey,
you,
your
Nagma.
books, everywhere.
Thank you. That really means a lot. Like all the good energy you've put in my direction or my way, it will definitely help me. I mean, it has helped me so far, and I really believe in that. And I truly agree that nothing like meeting people for real. I'm a person who believes in emotional connection. Maybe that's why even in my book Stars Will Guide You Home, the app helps connect them, but then we know what happens.
Exactly.
It's the human connection. It's how we take stand for ourselves. That's where the story unfolds, and I hope that keeps happening for more and more people. So thank you so much for having me on the Nest show, and it was an absolute pleasure talking to you.